Hey y'all, is everybody's butt puckered up or did it stop puckering after Thursday's debacle in SOXL? Man, mine wasn't puckering, but I probably got a hemorrhoid. All jokes. Jokes, jokes, jokes. Well, I don't know about the hemorrhoid. The hemorrhoid might be true because I am getting old, but jokes aside, I kind of struggle, just to be a little transparent with you guys. I kind of struggle sharing my options trades with you guys, mainly because I feel halfway responsible if someone says, "Oh, I'm going to make those trades," and then they don't realize what's involved and things like that, or I mean, just anything. I'd hate to hear somebody, "Oh, I got into this trade and I lost so much money," or whatever. It actually happened to me like I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago with when the meme stock stuff was going on. I remember GameStop was running up when it first started, and I saw these calls. I was like, man, we can sell a naked call at 90. And I think GameStop was selling for like $20. I was like, we could sell a naked call for 90 and collect a couple $100. Like, that seems like free money. I didn't end up doing it, but someone I knew did end up doing it. And I don't know how many they sold, but essentially they lost 50 grand overnight. Overnight. So that's why I struggle a little bit with this stuff. Everybody has different risk tolerances and different understandings of things, how things work and things like that. So I don't know. What I do know is after 5 or 6 years, this is one thing I used to always say about options, right? Everybody needs to get punched in the mouth at least once. At least once. I did. Matter of fact, let's look at it. Let's look at the chart. I got punched in the mouth. I think I lost 8 grand in one day, and that was like terrifying because I was new. I didn't know much about options or nothing. I was just clicking buttons, man. And it was with Wayfair right here. And I'll show you exactly where it happened. We go to a 5-year chart maybe, or do I have to go below? You have to go past 5 years. Wow. 10-year chart. Here we go. Now, I remember selling Wayfair. It had this drop right here in October of 2019, and beginning of January 2020, I sold right up here. It was $105 a share. I think I sold like a $70 put or something like that. Felt okay. And then look what happened. It just cratered to 24 bucks or something like that. But I walked away. I was like, I lost like, I don't know what it was, 6-8 grand or something like that. But of course, hindsight's 2020. If I would have just, what if I would have took the shares at 70 and just sat on them, right? I'm not saying this is going to work for every situation, but hindsight's 2020, of course. But look what happened, in the months after that. Wayfair went all the way up, touched $369. So, but this offered me a good lesson. Like, I got punched in the face, and I was able to learn from it, right? So I think everybody needs to get punched in the face. That's what I used to say back in the day. For all you longtime listeners, you might remember that. But, of course, Wayfair's fallen off a cliff. It actually might be a decent trade now because it's just trading sideways. But once I get punched in the mouth and they win, I let them win, and I walk away. And there's no need to cry over spilled milk. What was done was done, and I went on to make that money back elsewhere, right? So it is what it is. And SOXL, was it? I put that video out on Thursday when it had that big, I don't know what it went, 15% down or something like that. And I said, it needs to hold. Well, it held. It was up 4.5% today. Closed higher than it opened, which is nice. And then it's up a little bit after hours. So I expect that this little spot is going to hold at 20. Where is it at? 22 basically, and we'll pop up from here. But there's no guarantee in that stuff. One company says something funny, and then off everything gets all funky. So there's my rant. Now let's go over the weekly and monthly options results for the week. You're going to see I got a whole bunch of stuff in the money, but they're $23 strikes on SOXL. SOXL's at 22.73. Not really too worried about it at the moment. The one that I might, like I said in that last video on Thursday, I said I would probably take some and roll some. This one for sure I would roll, but it's not for another 3 weeks still. It's 25 strike at SOXL. I'd roll that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just take it week by week. That's why I don't have everything expiring all in the same week. You can deal with the fires. That way, I'm going to have a bunch of fires if it doesn't recover here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts there. Not that big of a deal when you're figuring, the low strike, but I don't like having everything hit me at once. So I like to ladder expiration dates a lot. A lot of times that's not easy to do because the main expiration date every month is the one that has the most volume and has the most trades and has the tightest spreads and all that stuff. So, but if possible, I like to do that. So let's take a look at what I closed this week. I closed an SOXL put for 5 cents, collected $113 there. Closed a BZH Beezer Homes put for 24 cents, collected $45 there. Closed my covered calls for SOXL. I probably should have just let them run, but I didn't. Closed one, profited $71. Closed the SOSX for 41 cents, collected $68.32. And 2 more covered calls in SOXL I closed for 30 cents a piece, profited $77 on each of those. And then Pfizer, that expired worthless, barely, profited $29. That was a covered call. And then I did a gamble. I gambled on Owens & Minor having earnings today. Let's take a look at that chart. This was a straight gamble, guys. So if you look at Owens & Minor, it was just from, last year trading at almost $30 to right at $6 or so, 6 something when I bought the call. To me, buying calls, I don't like doing it, but I'll do it when it's cheap. And I bought the March 21st call at a $7 strike. I paid $45 for it. And I did this on, what's the 24th? On Monday. And I knew they were having earnings on this morning, Friday morning, I believe. They beat, and I was able to exit that position for $2.06. So a profit of $160.32 in 4 days. Now, it was a low risk trade. If they didn't beat, I would have lost $45. But since they beat, I probably could have, what is that? A 3X, almost a 4X. That's 3X plus something like that. I don't know. My math ain't mathing. I probably could have squeezed a little bit more out of it. Would have been nice if I had 2, then I could have sold one for profit and let the other one ride. I didn't think about that until after I closed this one out, but nice trade. And I don't do that very often. There's nothing, I can't give you much advice as to when to buy a call, but it was a cheap gamble, $45, right? So profit for the week, $642.56. And then, what was the profit for the month? Oh, we'll go to that. We'll get to that. What did I open? Let's take a look. Sheesh, what didn't I open? We talked about covered calls. We talked about Owens and Minor. Those are closed. A bunch of SOXLs that kind of bit me. Well, it didn't bit me yet, but we'll have to see. March 28th, 23 strike, collected $126. April 4th, 23 strike, collected $153. April 4th, 21 strike, collected $107. Two April 18th expirations at 20 and 21 strike, collected 105 and 127. Sold the Beezer Homes put out to April on 21 strike, collected $75. SOXL again, 22 strike and 23 strike, collected 153 and 193 respectively. Two more SOXLs, 4-4 and 418, 23 strike and 22 strike, collected $220 and $216. Advanced Auto Parts, after they collapsed after earnings, hopefully this holds up, but this one's kind of a speculation. I feel better about SOXL than I do about Advanced Auto Parts, to be honest with you. I went out to March 21st, sold the 36 strike, got $115 for it. And then after SOXL, the day that it cratered, I did manage to put on a few, take advantage of it a little bit. Went out to March 28th, sold the 20 strike, collected $108. April 4th, sold the 17 strike and collected $107. Sold a covered call on Bros. We'll talk about that in the holdings, but I did bump up to 100 shares. Sold the 90 strike, collected $175. And then SOXL, April 18th, 20 strike, collected $186. So all in all, for the week, we sold, this is going to be approximate, we sold about $2,400 worth of premium for the week. Okay, so premium cooking, we'll take a look. Nothing left for February because February's over, but for March we have $2,171 in premium cooking, and then for April we have $1,967 for a total of $4,138.92. This is a work in progress. I'm trying to figure out how I want to figure out. Good English there, GW. How to figure out my return, right? So it's notional. Notional is, how much cash you need to, secure the contracts. So notional on closed contracts. Profit realized, let's say profit realized 642.56. Notional on those closed contracts was 14,800. Percentage gain on notional is 4.34%. Weekly return, this is the return divided by all cash. See, I don't know how to annualized return is 78%. I don't know. This is a work in progress. I'm working through it. And I'm trying to figure it out. The reason why I'm trying to figure this out is because of a viewer question of do I beat the S&P 500? And we'll get to that here right when I'm done with this stuff. So month of February, $2,480.32 in profit. So that was the best February since 2021. Okay, nice. Hopefully that holds. March could be interesting depending upon what SOXL does. Spit it out. I did make a bunch of moves in my portfolio. I think it was on Monday. Me and my wife were thinking about buying a home, so I was raising cash. So I sold out of a bunch of, basically all the income funds, because I don't really need the income funds. I'm not retired. but just raising the cash. So I got rid of TLTW, got rid of CLM. TLTW was like a $800, $900 loss. CLM was a 20% gain. Sold RQI, that was like a 13, 15% gain, something like that. Spit was a scratch. Added Bros, added 40 shares of Bros. What else? Bought Clip. Now I do want cash. So what I didn't realize is SPACs in Fidelity is not marginable. So I bought Clip. This is just a 1 to 3 or 0 to 3 month treasury bond ETF, typically state tax free. And I'll probably be adding more to that because it's cash like, right? So instead of sitting in real cash, I'll have it in here and blah, blah, blah. 401k, Bitcoin. I don't know where Bitcoin's at, but that is what it is. So there we are. Now, the gentleman asks, do I beat the S&P 500? Short answer is no. And I do not care that I don't. I don't even look at it. I didn't look at it until this guy asked. But what I do like, that's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. I do look at it all the time. But what I'm doing, right? Let's take a look at the performance. So one day down 2.15%. Now that's the day. That's on February 27th. So that's the day that SOXL went down 15%. Okay, so obviously I'm going to be a little bit more volatile. Excuse me. But let's look at 1 month. My 1 month return 0.32%. S&P 500 down 2.39. Dow Jones down 2.88. Year to date, my return 1.5%. S&P 500 down 0.15. Is that right? That seems wrong, but maybe I'm tripping. Let's see. Is the S&P 500 down for the year? Let's see, where's the year at? Where'd the year start? Right about there. Yeah, I guess it could be. I'm not sure. But this is as of Thursday close, so Dow Jones down 0.44. 1 year return 17.16% to the S&P 500 17%. Now everybody's going to say, well, then why are you trading options if you can't beat the market? I'll tell you why. And it has to do with this screen right here, asset allocation, right? Domestic stock. Let's take a look. 18.3%. The next biggest thing is cash, 81.4%. It tells you your asset allocation resembles a conservative strategy. Now, if I can get market-like returns, I don't even have to beat the market. I can be a couple points even under the market. If I could get market around their returns while not being exposed to the stock market, and just I'm exposed by options, obviously, but I can manage that. You can't control when the stock market crashes, right? There's arguments there, but if I can get market-like returns while being 81% in cash, I'll do that all day and twice on Sunday because I'm a risk-averse person, believe it or not. Even though I'm trading a whole butt ton. Is butt ton a metric? Is that an actual measurement? It should be. You're trading a butt ton of SOXL. I feel safer doing that than I would be being 100% in the S&P 500. That's just me. Okay. So, hope that answers your question. I use options to decrease volatility, which seems weird. I know that seems weird, but if you look at here, decreased volatility, year to date, I'm up 1.5% while the S&P 500 and Dow Jones is down. Now, over a longer period of time, they're probably going to beat me. I can't go all because I only had a bunch of, I could go all and go 38%, but I used to have multiple accounts. My money was all over the place, and now I'm all in Fidelity, and we're going on almost 1 year. Well, we probably are at a year where I moved everything over to Fidelity. So this is my performance with options, basically, plus 17.16% while being, 20-ish% invested in stocks. So hope that clears something up. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment. I don't care what it is. You can tell me I'm wrong if you want to. Inside joke. But anyway, hope you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.